Hey guys, here's our updated lasagna recipe. So this one's a bit more detailed for you guys because we always get a lot of questions on it. So you want to start off by heating a large pan, and to this you want to add around 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil, and then you want to start frying around 1 tablespoon of garlic and ginger paste. So you want to fry this for around 30 seconds and then just add in 2 large onions, finely diced like this, and then just mix it all in. Add a bit more oil there, and then you want to season this with some salt. So I added 1.5 teaspoons of that, and then you want your onions to go a brown color like this, and then you want to add your meat. So this is a chicken lasagna, but for this I did use a bit of meat as well, but it definitely goes well with chicken. So I'm just breaking the meat down because it was a bit chunky. So once the water's been released and there's not a lot left, you want to season with whatever you want really. So I used 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and 1.5 teaspoon of Kashmiri curry powder, and then just giving it a stir and cooking off the spices on high heat. So this is a chicken lasagna, but you can add meat if you want, like we did here, but I definitely think it tastes better with chicken, but it is up to preference. So once most of the water's gone, you want to add 1 teaspoon of garam masala and 1 teaspoon of fenugreek. So this is completely optional, but I think it definitely adds a lot of flavour. And then you want to add coriander and give it a good mix. So we just use frozen here, so we're just breaking it up. Also forgot to mention, guys, this is 2 pounds chicken. That's how much meat you will need, and per 2 pounds chicken you will need 1 Dolmio tub. So here I'm adding 2 because I doubled it, if that makes sense. And then you want to add water, so you want to get that Dolmio jar and fill it up a quarter the way up with some water, and then just pop that in. So here's my second bottle because, like we said, we used 4 pounds meat. Got more water here, and then just adding that. The water is important, it just makes it more saucy, and because we used oven ready lasagna sheets, it's very important you get a really runny sauce like that. You don't want it to be dry because the lasagna sheets won't cook. So you want to bring this up to a boil and add 1 tablespoon of dried basil. You can use fresh, but we didn't have any, so just giving it a really good mix, and it should start to bubble soon like so. And you can also add sweet corn to this or whatever. We actually forgot to add our green chilies, so I've just done that after, so we used 2, but it's definitely up to taste. And then you want to start making your white sauce. So the mince in the back is on simmer, so you want to put that on your lowest heat with the lid on whilst you make the sauce. So you're going to need 500 mils of milk, and you will need 50 grams of butter, and I'm just melting that down here, and then adding 1 tablespoon of garlic. You can use fresh or you can skip this step, but it just adds a lot of flavour. Once that's melted, you want to add a 1/4 cup of plain flour to this, and this is called making the roux. So you want to add that once you fry the garlic for around 30 seconds. Mix this, cook it off for 2 minutes, and then you want to add your milk. So we did warm the milk up first, just on that pot that you can see. We're going to add that in slowly here. You want to make sure you mix so you don't get any lumps or anything. So once you keep whisking, it should start to thicken. Once it starts to thicken, you want to season it. So I'm doing all this over a medium-high heat, and just keep checking on your mince because it shouldn't stick, but you just want to make sure that you keep stirring it. So we seasoned with 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And then you want to keep whisking that, and it should start to thicken. Once it starts to thicken, you want to turn it off because it will thicken as it cools, so it'll be too thick if you leave it on for too long. So turn off your mince and your sauce, and now it's time to assemble. So we used oven ready sheets like I mentioned before, and for this you want to start off with the mince at the bottom, and then your sheets, and then you want to put the white sauce on top. It's very important you put generous amounts on so the oven sheets that can cook, and also make sure you get every little corner and don't be stingy with how much sauce you're putting on. So as you can see, we're covering everything, all the corners, making sure I get to every corner so nothing burns in the oven, and then just topping with cheese and some oregano. And then you want to pop this in the oven, preheated oven. Make sure you put foil on top so the lasagna sheets can cook. 180 for around 20 minutes, and then you want to take off the foil and just check with a fork, and it should come out really soft. And then you just want to put it back in the oven until your cheese melts or cooked, however you like it. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you follow this properly, your lasagna sheet should be completely cooked and so soft. It's always worked for us, guys. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop us a DM. We're always happy to help. And like always, thank you so much for watching and supporting us.